defeated? Well, you are certainly not alone. In today's fast-paced, I'm excited to share with you some powerful insights on achieving realistic goals. Are you a person that struggles with setting goals and actually achieving them? Do you find yourself constantly setting high expectations for yourself, only to end up feeling disappointed and defeated? Well, you are certainly not alone. In today's fast-paced world, it can be challenging to stay focused and motivated towards our goals. But fear not, because in today's message, I am going to share with you 5 powerful ways to achieve realistic goals and turn your dreams into reality. You see, I have spent decades studying and teaching the principles of success and personal development. And one of the key factors that I have found to be crucial in achieving success is setting realistic goals. It's not about setting impossible goals that leave us feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. It's about setting goals that are challenging yet attainable, and then taking consistent action towards them. So if you are ready to turn things around and finally achieve the success you desire, then I urge you to keep watching this video. By the end of it, you will have a clear understanding of how to set realistic goals and the steps you need to take to make them a reality. So, let's get started. Starting with the number 5 way to achieve realistic goals, by celebrating your successes. You see, we live in a society that is constantly pushing us to strive for more, to never settle, to always be on the go. And while ambition and drive are important, we often forget to take a step back and recognize how far we have come. We are so focused on the end goal that we forget to appreciate the journey and celebrate our achievements along the way. So what do I mean by celebration? It can be as simple as acknowledging your progress, giving yourself a pat on the back, or treating yourself to something special. It is about taking a moment to reflect on your accomplishments and feeling proud of yourself. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Jim, I haven't achieved my ultimate goal yet. How can I celebrate? And to that I say, celebrate the small wins. Every step towards your goal is a victory, and it is important to acknowledge and celebrate them. It will give you the motivation and drive to keep going. Let me share a personal story with you. When I first started my journey towards success, I had a big dream, but I didn't know how to get there. I set small goals for myself, and with each one I achieved, I celebrated. It could be something as simple as finishing a book or making a new connection in my field. And you know what? Those celebrations kept me going. They reminded me that I was making progress and that my dream was within reach. Now I want you to imagine this. You are on a long road trip and your destination is a beautiful beach. Along the way, you pass by breathtaking landscapes, charming towns, and interesting landmarks. Do you just focus on reaching the beach, or do you take a moment to appreciate and enjoy these little moments? I hope you said the latter. Because life is not just about the destination. It is about the journey and the experiences we have along the way. The same goes for our goals. It is not just about reaching the end goal. It is about the process and the growth we experience. And celebrating our successes is a way to acknowledge and appreciate that growth. Now, I want to address something that holds many of us back from celebrating our successes: fear of complacency. We are afraid that if we celebrate, we will become content and lose our drive to keep going. But let me tell you, celebration does not equal complacency. In fact, it is quite the opposite. Celebrating our successes gives us the motivation and confidence to keep pushing towards our goals. It is like fuel for our journey. So, how can we incorporate celebration into our goal-setting process? First and foremost, set realistic goals. This is crucial because when we set unrealistic goals, we set ourselves up for failure. And failure is not something to celebrate, but when we set realistic goals, we can celebrate our progress and achievements along the way. Secondly, Keep track of your progress. This can be in the form of a journal, a vision board, or any other method that works for you. When you have a visual representation of your progress, it becomes easier to see how far you have come and celebrate your successes. Lastly, don't be afraid to share your successes with others. Celebrating with friends and loved ones not only makes the experience more enjoyable, but it also holds you accountable and keeps you motivated. Which leads us to number 4, which is achieve realistic goals by staying accountable. Accountability is the glue that holds all the other ingredients together. It is the key to unlocking your full potential and achieving your goals. Without accountability, your goals are just mere wishes and dreams. They will remain out of reach, and you will continue to struggle and feel unfulfilled. So what exactly is accountability? Simply put, it is taking responsibility for your actions and their outcomes. It is being answerable to yourself and others for the results you produce. It is about owning your mistakes and learning from them. It is about being consistent and persistent in your efforts, even when things get tough. Accountability is not about blaming others or making excuses. It is about taking control of your life and making things happen. It is about being proactive instead of reactive. It is about being the driver of your own destiny rather than a passenger. Now let me ask you, how many of you have set goals for yourself in the past and failed to achieve them? I'm sure many of you have. And if I were to ask you the reason for your failure, what would you say? Lack of time, lack of resources, lack of support? While these may seem like valid reasons, the real reason behind your failure is lack of accountability. You see, when you are not accountable, you tend to make excuses and blame external factors for your lack of progress. You give yourself a way out by saying, I couldn't achieve my goal because I didn't have enough time, or I didn't have the right resources. But the truth is, these are just excuses that you use to justify your lack of commitment and effort. On the other hand, when you are accountable, you take ownership of your actions and their outcomes. You don't make excuses. Instead, you find solutions. You don't waste time complaining. Instead, you take action. You don't wait for the perfect conditions. Instead, you make the best of what you have. Accountability is not just about achieving your goals. It is also about personal growth and development. When you hold yourself accountable, you become more self-aware. You recognize your strengths and weaknesses and work on improving them. You become more disciplined and focused. You become more resilient and adaptable. You become a better version of yourself.